Creating a lead generation quiz really sounds much harder than it actually is. A quiz is an excellent way to start collecting leads, to get those people to sign up to your email list. Why? Well, because it's fun to take quizzes and people actually really like to engage with this type of content, so it is a great opportunity for you to offer something that they want and to get something valuable in return, being their email address. Hi, I'm Hanne from Thrive Teams, and in this video I'm gonna show you the 6 simple steps to setting up a lead generation quiz. Now, we are gonna make this super easy and really step by step. Let's quickly go over the different steps. Step 1 is to create the quiz title. Step 2 is to create our result pages. Step 3 is to set up the quiz and the quiz questions. Step 4 is setting up our opt-in form to make sure that we can collect those leads. Step 5 is adding the quiz to the website, and step 6 is to finally link from your website, from a Lightbox, to this quiz. Step 1, picking the quiz title. Now, this is actually where most people already get stuck, and that is why I want to make it super easy for you. The quiz that we will make today is a category quiz, and the title that you will use is What XYZ Are You? So the formula of this quiz is what are you? The reason that we pick this type of quiz is because it is actually really successful. Just go on BuzzFeed and you'll see a ton of quizzes such as which Harry Potter character are you? Which Disney princess are you? Which type of ugly Christmas sweater are you? The reason that this works so well is because it is entertaining and it is about the person that takes the quiz. So it feels like a game much more than an interrogation. So this is the type of quiz that I want you to create and that we will be creating together. Now, in our example, the quiz that we will create is which type of online entrepreneur are you? For you, I want you to think about which and then the type of audience, something that has to do with your audience, and then just are you next to it, okay? It's not that hard, and honestly, there are so many variations on this topic that I'm sure that you will find something that can hit home with your audience. Now, the next thing that we want to do is actually step number 2, set up our results pages and start with that end of the quiz in mind. Because it is really hard to set up a quiz if you don't know where you want to go. So what we'll do first is think about the different categories that we want people to land in. So in our example for our online entrepreneur, we would have the professor, the rebel, and the artist. Those are just 3 random categories that I invented that I think would make sense for an which type of online entrepreneur are you quiz. So what we'll do now is go on the website and set up those results pages, because those are the pages that we want people to see after they take the quiz and after they gave us their email address. The tools that I'll be using for this complete tutorial is Thrive Quiz Builder, Thrive Architect, and Thrive Leads. Now, all of these tools are part of Thrive Suite, so as a Thrive Suite customers, you have access to all of them. Let's go onto our website and create a new page. This page will be our professor page. Let's launch Thrive Architect. Now, what we want to do on these results pages will depend on what the goal of the quiz is. But because the main objective here is to get leads, I want to give information on this result page. So imagine somebody took the quiz, which type of online entrepreneur are you? And then they come to this results page. So they fall into the category, the professor. And from here, you want to make sure that you actually give them some information, something that they can act on, something that they can feel good about, a next step that they can take with your brand. So in this case, what we might do is explain which type of online businesses are appropriate for someone who's the professor type. And then we might even pitch something like an online course that is really relevant for these people. And that is where quizzes come into place and why they are so powerful. It's because you can first get that information. You can have people self-segment and go to the pages that are most relevant for them and find the information that's most relevant for them. So let's do that now. Here, because I'm using Thrive Theme Builder, I can just create a standalone page where I have my footer and my header. But if you're not using Thrive Theme Builder, you can also just start from either a landing page or a normal page. Now, because I'm not a very good designer, I will use blocks to design this page. If you are more of a designer than I am, you can of course use the elements here and simply drag and drop the elements on the page. But if you want to make sure that everything looks good and professional, simply start by adding blocks. So the first block that I would add here is a hero block, an above default hero block. And what I want to do is just make it super clear for someone what the result of the quiz is. So I'll take this simple hero image. And here, so this would be, you are the professor. And then we can explain what this means. So maybe professor is the type of person who teaches and then who learns stuff and then teaches it online. So that could be our short paragraph here. I don't think I need this button. And then of course we want to change the image, go into background style, and then click on the image. And from here we can change it. So let's choose an image that's more related to our professor and apply this. Let's also put this text in center. All right. The next block that I want is a text block to be able to give some more explanation about this archetype. So let's add a text block. Here, text content, maybe something like this. So here's where I would explain which online business is perfect for a professor. So maybe this would be affiliate marketing because you can teach the different tools. Maybe this would be online courses because, of course, that seems logical. So this is where I would put the value for the person who just took the quiz. And then I would also take the opportunity to pitch the next step. So in this case, we could actually pitch an online course. So let's see a block that has like different layouts. As you can see, there are so many blocks. So I'm sure that you'll be able to find something that fits what you are looking for. So in this case, maybe we can use this. All right. And then change the title. And so now here, I would be able to pitch a course about affiliate marketing, or I would be able to pitch a course about online courses, or whatever it is, but something that's very related to this person. All right, let's save this page. And now what we can do is in our settings here, I will save this landing page. Call it quiz results, save it as a template. Because now I can go back to my website and I can create the other results pages. But rather than to have to create the page completely from scratch again, I can use that template and make the other pages based on this template. So let's add a new page. In this case, it would be the Rebel. Publish this. Launch Thrive Architect. Now let's choose from the pre-built landing page, go to my saved landing pages and pick the quiz result here and apply this template. Now to keep the consistency between the pages, I would go into page and I would actually show my header. So I can click on this little eye icon to show the header and show the footer. And then this will be the same as the other pages. And so this is you are the Rebel. And then of course we would change which courses we link to and the images and so on, but I won't bore you by doing that right now. And then we need to create one last result page, which in our case is the artist. And we can follow the exact same steps to also load the landing page template on here. Now, this brings us already to step number 3, where we're actually going to create the quiz. So for that, go to your Thrive dashboard, go to Thrive Quiz Builder, and let's add a new quiz. Because we are making a lead generation quiz, I will pick this list building template here. Let's call this Online Entrepreneur Quiz. Now, the type of quiz that we want to create is a category type, because we don't want to give people a score or anything like that. We want to actually put them in categories based on the answers that they are giving. So let's pick the category quiz. And here we can set up our different categories. So the categories would be professor, rebel, and artist. Now, of course, if you have more than 3 categories, you would set up more than 3 results pages and you would create more than 3 categories. But remember, don't overcomplicate things. The moment that you have 25 categories, it will become a really, really complicated quiz, and it will probably take you way too long to get this up and running. So something between 3 and 5 is a nice sweet spot for the different categories. Now, I don't want to display feedback on the questions, so let's just select that and then save this. As you can see, we have a bunch of different quiz styles and you can pick the one that fits your brand. But if you want to be able to change the colors on your quiz questions, then you need to pick the minimalist quiz template, because at the moment, this is the only template that allows you for design editing. So from here, I'm going to edit this design. And I'm not going to make too much changes, but I simply want to change this hover blue color to my brand color, which is dark red. All right, let's save this. Now we're back in Thrive Quiz Builder. We saved the questions. We now have the brand color. And what I want to do here is I'm actually going to delete the splash page. So a splash page is something that will be shown on the same page as the quiz, but before you start. So usually it would allow you to add a title and say something like start quiz with a button. But because I will show you a trick where we actually have people from the Lightbox click to go to the quiz, it is a bit of a double step if you also have the splash page. Now, this is totally up to you. In the setup that I have here, I just think that it is a bit more logical not to have this splash page. Now, when you hover over this card, you can see that there is this trash can icon, and when you click on it, that will just delete the splash page. Now, let's start by creating our questions. The way that I want you to think about the questions in your quiz is that, of course, we want to make sure that we ask the questions that allow us to put people in a certain category. But you also might slip in some questions that are just really, really useful for you to have about your audience. So something that you want to learn about your audience, because in Thrive Quiz Builder, not all of the questions have to be linked to that category. So let's add a new question. Let's make this a multiple choice without pictures. And our first question could be something like, on a Sunday afternoon, you'll find me ... All right, and so our answers are watching an online course, creating something new, or hanging out with friends. Now I can decide which one of these answers is linked to which of the categories. So watching an online course would be linked to our professor category. Creating something new would be linked to our artist, and then hanging out would be our rebel. Now, if you also want to send the quiz answers to your email marketing service so that you can make the profile of the person who signs up more interesting and that you can use it in further follow-up emails, then you can toggle on the tags here. Now, this will only work if you use a service that is supported with these tags. Now here, in this case, because it goes to the category, I'm not going to add any tags. So let's just save this. But then, like I said, we might also want to ask questions that are not related to which category, but that are related to getting to know our audience. And in this case, let's add a question in here that asks, do you already have an online business? The answers would be yes or no. And then the tags I can send online business and beginner. So now when somebody tells me that they don't have an online business yet, they will be tagged as beginner in my email marketing service. And then I can adapt the messages that I'm sending to this group of people. So let's save this, drag this here. And so now we can attach these questions. And now let's imagine that if somebody says, yes, I have an online business, we want to ask them, what type of online business do you have? And again, you can add tags if you think that this information is interesting to have in your email marketing provider. Let's save this. Now, what is really cool with Thrive Quiz Builder is that you can make this type of linear quizzes where one question after the other, but you can also very easily split it out. So here, if somebody says, no, I don't have an online business, it doesn't make sense that we ask them which type of online business do you have right after. So I would only link the yes question to this, and the no question is not linked to this question. So then we can add other questions or and you can really link these questions up in a very visual way. Now, when you are done, you don't have to connect the last question to anything. You just leave it open-ended because automatically Thrive Quiz Builder will calculate which category the person has to go in and then send them to the right results page. Now, we often get asked how many questions is the right amount of questions. And the truth is, enough so that it feels realistic and not enough so that people get bored. So it is a bit of a hard question. And if you are mixing up text questions with images and so on, you can probably ask for a couple of questions, but don't go overboard. Just maybe 10 questions is something that people will be able to answer without getting bored. So let's save and exit. All right, now we want to make sure that the people go to the right results pages. And this is why we actually started by creating our results pages before creating our quiz. So here, as you can see in Thrive Quiz Builder, you have two options. An option that is called the results page, which means that after somebody has taken the quiz and signed up, at that same page, it will actually reload and show different content. Now, with the dynamic content options, you can still allow people to get different content based on their results. But because we created different URLs and have this really nice and good looking landing pages for the different results, we will select the URL redirect here. So now, as you can see, I can find my 3 categories and I wanted to redirect to content on my site. And from here, I can search for the page. So the professor results, the rebel results, and the artists. All right. So now, depending on the category that the people will get segmented in, they will go to the right results page. Which brings us to step number 4 already, and that is our opt-in gate. So an opt-in gate gives us the opportunity to ask for the email sign-up before showing the results. As you can see, we have a lot of options here. You can even A/B test the opt-in gate to make sure that you get the most leads as possible. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I will just show you how to set it up. Now, you want to make sure that you give people a reason to actually sign up. And probably hearing the result is not enough. So if you can promise them something that they will get when they sign up, that will really help increase your conversion rate. So in our case here, because we are doing this which online entrepreneur type quiz are you, we can tell them that we will send them to a results page where they will discover the best types of businesses that they can create based on their archetype, for example. And then what we want to do is add a connection. In our case here, we have Active Campaign already connected to the website. So I will also select the possibility to send the results as a tag to my email provider, because then it means that automatically the people who sign up will get assigned the artist tag or the rebel tag or the professor tag in my email provider, and I can have emails based on those tags. So let's apply this and save it. Now, as you can see, by default, there is a skip this step here. If you don't want that, you can just delete it. So that would mean that people really are forced to sign up when they take your quiz. All right, step number 5. We want to add this quiz somewhere on our page so that people can actually find it. So let's go to our quiz dashboard. And here you can see that we have this shortcode sign. So we can click on this, which gives us a shortcode that we can copy, or we can use Strive Architect to add it to a page. But let's add a new page. Call this our entrepreneur quiz page. Launch Strive Architect. And because this page will dynamically show the quiz questions, I will choose this blank page with a header and a footer. Now I can either add the shortcode on the page as text, or I can look here for quiz elements, drag this on here, and then select the quiz. All right. So now we have our quiz on our website. Let's take one more step, and that is to make sure that people can actually find this quiz and that we have as many people as possible taking this quiz. And for that, I'll be using Thrive Leads to add a Lightbox to the website. Now let's go to our Thrive Leads dashboard and add a new lead group. Let's call this quiz. And let's add a Lightbox. Let's create a form and edit the design. So as you can see, there are a bunch of templates to choose from. So I'll go with this fading image one. Now here we would tell people why they want to take this quiz. All right, but instead of wanting an opt-in form on here, we want to use a button to send people to our quiz page. So let's delete this opt-in form and this little text, and then add a button to this form. Now here we can change the style of this button. And we can add our brand color. All right. Now, of course, everything on this opt-in form is click to edit. So you can just select the different elements and change the colors, change the style, whatever you want. It's really up to you. All right, let's save this. And now we can link this button to our quiz page. So click on the button, make sure it's selected, go to the main options, and here let's search for quiz and select our entrepreneur quiz page because that's the page where we embedded this quiz on. And now let's go back to our Thrive Leads dashboard and decide on our targeting options. So I'm going to put this on top of the other lead groups because I want this form to show on all the blog posts. And then once we've set the targeting options, there's one more thing we have to do, and that is make sure that we switch this Lightbox display to on. So here, let's display this on desktop and let's not display it on mobile for the moment. Then let me load this website in an incognito window. Now, when we load a blog post, you can see that this Lightbox is showing and that we have a button that takes us to the quiz page. From here, we can answer the different questions. Sign up on the opt-in form. And then we're automatically redirected to this results page that matches the category that was linked to the questions we answered. Now that's it. That's how easy it is to create a lead generation quiz using Thrive Suite. Because Thrive Quiz Builder, Thrive Leads, Thrive Architect are all included in Thrive Suite. So when you are a Thrive Suite customer, you have access to all of the tools you need. Now, let me know in the comments below whether you liked this tutorial, whether you set up a lead generation quiz, what your results were, and if you have any questions, also don't hesitate to let me know below. And then if you are an online entrepreneur, please hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so that you get a notification next time we publish a new video.